Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Norma.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Ivan, Kyla, Latoya,
Good afternoon.
Kayla. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining on a Sunday. Good afternoon, Paul. Uh, I know it's difficult to join in some of these Zoom calls, especially on a weekend, but thank you for joining us. And we shall start. So, welcome again, everyone. Today we are fortunate to have Nina Ninkov, who is a result-driven global marketing professional with an innate sense for technology, who leverages a diverse background in marketing, retail, and management. She obtained her master's degree in Serbia at the University of Novi Sad, Faculty of Technical Sciences. Shortly after, she started an internship in Boston, Massachusetts, and was selected as the sole 2017 Global Marketing Intern at Oracle, which was fantastic. She reported directly to the Oracle senior leadership, executed global digital marketing campaigns, analyzed performances for Oracle's 7 vertical global business units. Nina developed a huge interest in digital media strategies, focused on personal branding, engagement, and community building, and decided to start her own agency, her own business for clients in different industries, including the industry that I'm in, which is an RV resort industry. Nina's passion for knowledge has taken her around the world. She worked in the US, Hungary, and Serbia. Upon her return, she worked for different companies, both startups and mid-sized companies. Currently, she is helping businesses globally in getting exposure and growing their business by executing brand strategies on social media channels, increasing brand recognition through personalized strategic guidance, as well as compelling visuals, creating their own authentic voice, and building a strong relationship with their audience. With an extensive background, she gained unparalleled experience as a digital marketer and social media enthusiast. I must say that I've worked with Nina for about 3 months now, and quite impressed with a lot of the imagery that she uses for the social media, and the way she executes social media campaign. It's very strategic and it's very focused on what we want to achieve. So we are very fortunate to have Nina today, because I'm sure we will learn a lot from her with regards to social media and some of the mysteries and upcoming things happening with social media. We were just discussing about Club Room or Clubhouse that is starting now, and we'll hear more about it. So without much further ado, we have Nina Ninkov, whom I will make a presenter. One moment, Nina.
Okay, thank you, James.
All right. You're all yours.
Great. Can you see my screen, everyone? Yes, great. First of all,
Yes.
James, thank you so much for this phenomenal introduction. I'm really delighted to be here to speaking to your wonderful students. And well, I also have to say some great things about James. He's a phenomenal, knowledgeable, very experienced leader, one of the best I've worked with so far. And he has the best experience in some of the greatest companies. So you're definitely getting the best possible comprehension from his classes. And well, I would just like to say that while I was at university, one of the best professors that I had were also hosting, having host speakers and giving us company visits. So these were the best educational stuff that we had as students. So I would like to start now with my presentation. I'm going to talk about myself a little bit. And first, I would like to start with this quote, just because this is a really good quote and really applies to marketing a lot. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing about, by Benjamin Franklin. So you will see definitely my approach is on content marketing. And this is what applies to me every day. So I always either write something that is worth reading about, or I do something worth writing about. I would like to start with my introduction, my education background and experience, about my own little company and digital marketing in general, and then Sunland, and then we have some time for your questions as well. I started attending University of Novi Sad in Serbia, Faculty of Technical Sciences, and I got a bachelor's and master's degree in engineering management. During my studies, I was involved in many extracurricular activities, and two of which really stood out to me. The first was related to the industrial aspect of my studies, because we basically had an organization where we had separate departments for HR, for production, for programmers, for designers, for manufacturing, logistics, and even a CEO. And it was monitored by professors. And basically, all activities were related to the conversion of raw materials to actual finished goods. And the second activity was completely different, since it was a part of the community management team of my department. And we were creating different social media strategies, PR activities, and PR plans, communication strategies as well. And the goal was to be the voice of our university and to attract both domestic students and foreign students to enroll in one of our programs. And that was actually the moment that I realized that I would like to work in digital marketing, and it wouldn't just be a job for me, but something I would actually enjoy doing. So I started researching more, and I studied more about digital marketing. And that summer, I also applied for a program in the United States, and that was my first time there. And I was working actually as an event coordinator, so in the hospitality industry. For a private member-only yacht club. And this was an unforgettable experience because it gave me an opportunity to coordinate multiple events with minimal staff and really high expectations, while also allowing me to perfect my English. And after that, upon my return, I finished my master's studies. I applied to a global marketing internship in Oracle in Boston. And it was quite the journey, because the whole process between applying and then getting in and the whole paperwork took around 9 months. However, it was worth it. And I will show you the timeline of my experience. So in 2017, I started working as a global marketing intern at Oracle. And in 2018, I was working in startups and I was getting some additional education. In 2019, I started working in mid-sized companies and I was getting some diverse experience. And in 2020 until now, I have my digital agency. So it's quite the journey. This is actually a photo of me from Oracle and a quote that I really like, that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And it's true because I was selected, as James already said, as the sole intern for this internship. And I was basically working for the whole year at Oracle Global Business Unit's marketing team. And these are vertical industries, so completely unrelated: retail, communications, financial services, health sciences, hospitality, and utilities, and construction engineering. I think it was 7 in total. And I worked alongside some of the biggest professionals in the industry on some of the biggest events, where I gained some really amazing knowledge and memorable connections. This is one of Oracle's buildings, actually the ones that I was working at. And one of the biggest events was actually Oracle Industry Connect, which is held at Orlando, Florida, Disney World. And it was a thought leadership conference attended by more than 1,600 of the world's top leaders. So it was a phenomenal experience. Here I was conducting social media audit, and I had a lot of work around the event, a lot of coordination, and I think this event shaped me into becoming a person that I am now, and being a go-getter and tackling all these challenges and being independent. And then throughout the years, I worked at startups and mid-sized companies, and this is how I started developing a huge interest in digital strategies. I focused on personal branding and engagement and community building, and I decided to start my own agency for clients in different industries. So today I'm running this own digital marketing agency. It's called Ninkov, very creative, based on my name. And all my clients basically found me through word of mouth, because my approach is that I look at each client as my own company, and I'm extremely dedicated and committed in providing the best possible strategies for my clients' brand awareness and social media presence and event management. I am also analyzing these businesses to discover some room for improvement and to apply the best marketing strategies and to always keep up with the latest trends and changes. So this is basically my approach in graphic, because I'm a visual person, and for me it's easier to see it like that. And also I would like to ask, well, maybe this is not a time for me to ask, but I can ask if any of you knows what the definition is of digital marketing. But you don't have to answer. I can tell that instead of you. It's an area of marketing that's using basically digital channels, but not just social media. It's a strategic thinking, and the goal is to reach the right audience at the right time, to send out the right message to the right audience at the right time. And the world of digital marketing is ever changing, from algorithms to performances. And it's crucial to always keep up with the trends and with the changes to be ahead of everyone. I started working for Sunland in December, and since then I did a complete rebrand of the website for a few resorts with two objectives. One was to have a user-friendly website, and the other one was to shorten the customer's journey to make a purchase, to make a reservation, basically to create a booking. And I am actively running 4 social media accounts for 4 resorts. So this is what I was doing for Sunland so far. First I conducted a website audit based on what we talked about with James and his team, and what the needs are to just revamp, do a complete redesign of the website. I reviewed it by section and started with the landing page. As you can see on the right-hand side, this is my audit, and on the left, it's just the description, what I was doing. I was organizing the list of amenities in an image format with the titles. So, for example, picnic area, or barbecue area, pool area, pickleball court, and stuff like that. And then I also combined the guest services with images and a brief description instead of bullet points, and in a separate gallery, because it gives a fresh look and attracts customers to view more, to just click more. And I also added a sticky menu and go back to the top button because as you know, as a potential customer is scrolling down the page, the great navigation is really important, and it's just easy to get through the website. The guest testimonials section now looks like this, has its bullet points right here, and you can scroll through all the reviews. You see who wrote down the review, where it came from TripAdvisor, from RV Park Reviews, from Yelp, and of course highlighted sentence. For the gallery, I also organized a list of amenities in an image format with the title for pool area, for resort grounds, and the slideshows, when you view them, they enlarge the photo. When you click on them, they enlarge the photo. Before that, it was different. I also organized the Contact Us page because I would like to have every information out there present for the customer. And I think it's really important. And knowing you're from hospitality too, so you know how important it is to have everything in the same place and not to confuse your customer and not to lose them, especially when the contact info is there. So I added the address, the directions on Google Maps, the phone numbers, and the social media channels, because people are more likely to show interest if they're emailing or filling out the message box rather than calling. Although in the RV industry, we have talked about it before, people are more likely to make a reservation during a call, but with millennials coming and starting to book, it's becoming more popular to just fill out the message box or fill out or just write an email. I was also writing some blogs for Sunland, and since our main goal was to promote an outdoor lifestyle and to promote the attractions around these beautiful resorts, because all 4 resorts at the moment are in a great location, really close to San Diego or Palm Desert. I was focusing on all these attractions that they can see. I was trying to find the most interesting things, and I'm not even from San Diego or California, but still I was trying to find something that would be interesting for me too to see. So I also found some really amazing stuff. And I think it was really, I think the customers really, well, all the followers really related to this content because we had a lot of interaction. These are the 4 social media accounts that I'm currently running. So Oak Creek RV Resort, Emerald Desert, Escondido, and San Diego RV Resort. If you're not liking or following them, you definitely should start doing that now because the content is really interesting. And at least if you're not into RVing, at least you can read something interesting and something knowledgeable, educational about California. So it's definitely worth to follow. I would also like to show you some of our Facebook posts. I'm just going to show a few. I'm not going to make it too long. This is for Oak Creek RV Resort, our Facebook post. As you can see, this is one post, but 4 separate images. And I was focusing on this post on the destination with the amenities in the combination. So people can see, okay, if I'm staying at this resort, I can also visit all these beautiful places, just 20 minutes away from this vineyard or these mountain trails, or, oh, it has this lovely pool with this amazing sunset. You can also see that I use really minimal text, which is about 20%, and it's always what you should, it's the normality. So 20% is the maximum amount of text you can have in your image. And then this is kind of a blog post or a guide type of content, and I use them the most because I find them most attractive for all the followers. And it's educational and engaging at the same time. I am also going to show you the copy for Facebook, what I wrote. It's a short copy. It's with bullet points for easier and faster view, with emojis, with the added link, so people can immediately, as they read, as they see the post, click on it and read more about this content. And there's also hashtags are optional, but I'm always adding hashtags. On Instagram, I add around 20 hashtags. On Facebook, depends on the content. So there's no simple rule on what to do exactly. It really depends on the target audience. So you have to be very careful with that. And at the beginning, I was really trying out different things. And now I know mostly what they are doing, but just keep in mind that the customer's behavior is also changing, not only the algorithms and the performances and all the trends, but the customer's behavior. So there's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind, a lot of factors to take in before you start your planning. And there's also so many changes along the road. So just keep that in mind. For Instagram, because I'm creating a promotional plan that takes advantage of social and digital technologies, it will help you shape a conversation to build loyalty attract new customers and partners. And social media shouldn't just replace your inbound promotional methods like events and emails and public relations, but instead it should augment them. So social media just enhances everything that you already have in your company or wherever you're working. This is the reach we had for Oak Creek in the last 30 days. So as you can see, for the website tabs, we had 66.6% of increase. And for the Get Direction tabs, we had 100% increase. And social media is nothing without the content that makes it interesting for users. And I'm also always basing my approach to organic, because that gives long-term results and it enhances everything. And when I want, I just boost some posts, and sometimes I enhance it with paid effort, depends. But Facebook and Instagram are two platforms which are prioritizing content that has the most interactions, like likes and shares and comments and saves. So that's why it's tricky with these two platforms, because if you're inactive, then there's nothing to have on your algorithm, and you're not going to appear on the newsfeed. And then when you start posting, that's when you're going to place yourselves in the newsfeed. Understanding how to take advantage of influencer marketing is also one of the ways that you need to know, because you need to know how to encourage more people to generate content that highlights the brand, the products and services in a positive way. And as you can see, we also had, for content interactions, we had an increase, almost 30% in the last 30 days. And for story interactions, we had 140% increase. So these are really, really amazing results. It's really hard to place yourselves on Instagram and Facebook, especially if you had inactivity for a long time. So that's why you have to be consistent, but you have to have quality as well. Quality always beats quantity. So I'm posting 3 times a week for Sunland for each resort, which is good. Sometimes they are overlapping because sometimes they're about the same topic, but mostly they're not. And I am also posting stories. I'm resharing stories, trying to be interactive. I'm trying to be active with all the audience, reply to all comments and every DM basically on Instagram. And that's when you're actually contributing to the algorithm. For Emerald Desert, this is the first post that I created, and we had 0 activity before that from New Year's, I think. New Year's was the last time we had a post. And we had 990 people reached and 174 engagements. This is a fantastic result. This is the real deal here. So after a long time of no activity, people started just tweaking and seeing all these content. So as I said before, algorithms that don't favor brands, it's very difficult than ever to use social media as a traditional push channel, because Twitter and LinkedIn are completely different, and it's easier to place yourselves there, and it's easily reachable. But for Facebook and Instagram, it's really about your activity. If you're active, then you will attract the audience as well. If you're not active, if you're just posting once a week, that's nothing. That's just maintaining a channel. So shifting the focus and starting to look at a social media as what it's best used for, and that's to build one-to-one meaningful relationships. And that's what I'm all about. That's why I believe in organic approach more than a paid effort. A paid effort just enhances the organic approach. So I'm always following industry leaders, and I'm trying out different tools and softwares. I'm always working on elevating my knowledge and watching also the competition, my clients' competition as well, and analyzing the current situations. On Instagram and Facebook in general, it's great to show potential users how they can get the most out of a service or a product. So this is the feed of Emerald Desert on Instagram at the moment. So as you can see, it has kind of a voice, their own voice, at least the colors that I'm using, the images that I'm using. You can immediately say, okay, this is Emerald Desert. This is not something else. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have an authentic voice to every brand. For Facebook and Escondido, I was doing something different. I created a list of wineries in the area, and I tagged them in the post because when you're communicating with local businesses, they are getting attraction, you're getting attraction as well. And you are also sometimes focusing yourselves on getting more exposure, and they are doing the same thing for you, and it's free advertising for both of you. And I also wanted to talk about frequency on posts, and because I mentioned that I post 3 times a week, especially for these algorithm-based social media platforms. Quality content beats frequency of publishing because it will just destroy the performance. So that's why it's really important to have quality, relevant content that is going to be very relevant to your audience. It's going to be very important to your audience. Social media platforms also allow you to stay connected to your audiences, so you can respond to any questions, suggestions, comments, and feedback they may have. And that's the most solid and trusting bond with them. And I'm also using Instagram hashtags because they're powerful and they can just reach the target audience that you want. They can also attract followers in your niche. They can increase engagement and develop a more positive and recognizable brand image. There's a lot of benefits from using hashtags. For Facebook San Diego RV, the key with Facebook platform is actually the engagement I was talking about. As long as the audience likes what you have been writing, Facebook will continue to show it on newsfeed. So that's why we need likes always. I'm liking everything, and I'm asking my US friends to like content as well from the clients that I'm promoting, basically, just because most of my clients had no activity at the beginning, and then eventually they started getting more followers and fans, so getting a follower base. So that's why it's really important to like it, because this is how the algorithm works. It basically, it works like a light bulb. They see that you spend a second at one content, and it will just immediately become something that you will see on your feed more and more frequently. Focusing on the quality of each post and the content preferences of the audience to get more likes and comments and shares, and they will build up the audience and make the newsfeed algorithms basically work for you if you start just liking them. And that's the organic, what we want. And since photographs are emotional time machines, they can transport us to places which we've only dreamed of, remind us of past experiences we long to create, and spark inspiration for future adventures. That's why we are using very attractive visuals all the time, mostly images, but sometimes we have videos as well. So it's very diverse what we're doing for Sunland, our content strategy. I would also like to talk about one of the most important pieces of digital marketing, which is content marketing. And it's a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing relevant content that adds value to the targeted audience. So as I mentioned before, showing the right message to the right audience at the right moment. The 3 most popular content marketing techniques are blogging, social media, and influencer marketing. They are different for each business, the content marketing strategies, because of the geographical locations, because of the demographics, and the company goals. And what I want to achieve with Sunland brand is to basically reach this relevant audience, extend the followers' time that they spend on a social media channel or an account, and to have credibility with the followers, which we already, I think, we've established within these 3 months. And they will eventually lead to sales. And I also want to create compelling stories which add value to the audience. What I did for Sunland is I developed my own content calendar, which I categorized to help me stay on track. And I categorize it by type of content, by copy of the link, by date, and by the channel where it's posted. And it was really successful. It's just really good. It's a great thing that it's a great tool that you need to use. It's also free. And you can use different tools from different websites, but it's best to just create your own, because you have to personalize it, you have to customize it. It's just easier to use your own. So that's why I created my own. And there is no universal good time to post on social media. So I'm optimizing it. I'm trying out for all of my clients and all of my channels, because it's different for Facebook, it's different for Instagram, Twitter, different times work for different channels. So it's really helpful to just try out everything in the beginning, and then and then also to do some social media listening, to just track your audience. And now there on Instagram, there's an option to just see what time is the best and most popular time with your audience when they're online, and then that you can post your content there. But nothing means that it's going to be 100% like that, but you have to try out everything and then you will know. But I'm just wondering, but now you can answer here if I ask you, what type of content is something that you resonate with the most? What type of content do you like the most on social media? Which one do you like, or bookmark, or save, or comment, or share with somebody else? Is it something that brings out an emotion in you, or a feeling, or is it something like a support of a friend or a cause? Maybe James can be the first one who can answer that.
Oh, I think Norma's going to say something. Go ahead, Norma.
I was going to say anything like food related for me. I'm usually very influenced to send to people. I've worked in the food industry for a long time, and so when I see something like related to food or like a new restaurant or something like that, I'm really compelled to share that.
I agree. I'm the same with Norma. I think it's whenever I see unique Instagrammable food, I go like, oh, where is that? Like, for example, if it's a brand new, unique looking boba milk tea, right? You go like, oh, where can I get that? Yeah. For example, the other one that really makes me look at an Instagram posting is, when it's a video, Nina, but it's a very short video, and there's a story within the posting, right? For example, some of your postings are that, right? And for me, it's interesting. It just creates more interest, and I end up sharing it with my families and friends, and yeah, it kind of brings out some emotions. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. That's how I'm working too. I recently did kind of a research. Basically, it was on Instagram. You have these questions and answers, and then you ask a question. What brings out? Why are you liking a post? Reasons why you like a post. And then I was getting these different answers, and I was just wondering what was your answer to that, because this is what normally people do. And a lot of people were responding that they forgot to like something. They instead bookmarked it and then forgot to take a look at it once again for a recipe, for something, for some tips and tricks and how to. So it's normal. So that happens too with the algorithm. You're not getting a like, but you're getting a bookmark. So it's something. It counts.
Yeah, Ivan said in the chat, it's something that is funny. Comedy always makes good content.
That's true. I agree with that. And I also wanted to tackle the hospitality industry a little bit, because I have some experience, and I know it's an incredible, it's in a competitive industry, especially now with this pandemic, and it's been really challenging and tough. And a lot of businesses have similarities, and they're copying each other, and it's not a bad thing, but I just think that it can potentially harm the brand. So that's why I'm always prioritizing authenticity and trying to have something unique in a brand, giving a personality to the business. So I want every brand to have their own voice, their own look and tone, even the tone of the text, of the copy, to completely differentiate itself and to stand out from the crowd. And now, as the industry is incredibly, I would say, on thin legs at the moment, it's very unpredictable and so many limitations. It's I think Sunland has been really successful and received a lot of booking, and I think the main reason for that is the first of all the credibility. For 30 years Sunland has existed, and then the second thing, definitely customer service and reviews, because I always look at reviews everywhere I go. That's the first thing I look at, and then the price, and then the location and amenities. And the reviews are what are the reason why I go to a place. And Sunland's accounts all have fantastic reviews, mostly on customer service. So if you want to get treated well, you know you want to go to one of those resorts. So I think that's crucial, and Sunland already has that. The other thing is you're looking at the budget, right? And then after the budget, you're looking at location, amenities, and then do you take a look at their social media as well, of the hotel or any accommodation you're booking? And
Yes,
what
I
do you
do.
think what do you think of those that don't have any activity on social media?
Yeah, I get turned off, and then I go somewhere else, right? Because I know that it's I'm looking more for some imagery, right?
Yeah.
That it's more organic, as you said, rather than photoshopped photographies, right?
Exactly. Those are more candid.
Hmm.
They're very up to date, and you know exactly, okay, so this is where I'm going. I know exactly. And if I see that the social media feed is updated, they posted yesterday, then I know that all the information is going to be current. I know that there won't be any major changes, and I know that they just have a good business going on. Because if they don't have any content on social media, I'm definitely not going to stay there, because I'm not sure what this place is.
Right.
So that's why I think it's very important to maintain good social media marketing on every channel, especially when you see these things. And then in conclusion, kind of, but there's something that I wanted to say about building a community, and there's no fast forward way or strategy how to build a really big community, because it takes a lot of time and effort and work and devotion and patience, because people connect with people more than they connect with services or goods or products. The more people see themselves in some content, the more likely they're going to resonate with that and then engage with it. So that's why I'm posting consistently to establish and maintain presence, but I'm also trying to find a strategic way and to see what resonates best with which audience, because I have Emerald Desert, where the audience is a lot of influencers lately. So I know exactly what they want, how they interact. I know how to interact with them. I know how to track them. I know what to do. It's very different than for Oak Creek. We have extended stays, a lot of extended stays, and I know what they are looking for. So it's very important to just keep that in mind, that you have to take care of all your audience, because the audience is really, really wide. And when it comes to organic social media, quality is the most important thing. Quantity is not that important, just quality. So as long as you have something relevant, something educational and entertaining, you're going to have a good base of followers. So this is why creating a good content strategy and social media content calendar is important. And I think the key is to establish a loyal and enthusiastic following, and use Facebook and Instagram images to tell a story, captivate and engage your followers, and then allow them to be a part of the adventure. So basically invite them to be a part of Sunlands adventures. So that's why I put down these 4 to-do lists. Well, basically like a checklist to educate your followers, to entertain your followers, to assist your followers in solving a problem. Like as you mentioned, James, like the short videos on Sunland's Tiny Kitchen, Big Flavor. I think they're amazing, because basically a chef is teaching you how to make a sandwich. It's short and it's easy, and you also can download the recipe from the website. It's a great piece of content. And also you can motivate and inspire followers. As you said, Norma, you like food type of content. So when you see a great image of that, you're going to like that or share that with your friends. So this is something, this is what we're working on all the time. So do something motivational and inspirational for the followers. And this is it from me. I think thank you for your time. If you would like to stay in touch, you can send me an email or text me on WhatsApp or Viber or Skype or LinkedIn. Connect with me anywhere, because I'm everywhere except Clubhouse at the moment. So thank you for everything.
No, thank you, Nina. I'm sure we'll have some questions coming from the students. I do have a follow-up questions. So, I was looking at sort of the timeline of how social media has evolved, right?
Right.
Many of you guys are probably not even are too young to remember Friendster, right? Friendster was founded in 2003. It was actually even before Facebook. It was the very well-known social networking service that actually declined a 30 million buyout offer from Google. I don't know if you know that, Nina. And yeah, after Friendster, Facebook came in, right, in 2004. And then
Yeah.
Twitter came in 2006. And then Instagram came in 2010. TikTok was launched, 4 or 5 years ago, right? And it's very popular back in China. And now Clubhouse, it's by invitation only audio chat. I mean, what is next for social media? It seems like, there's
It's
so many stuff going on, right? You have Pinterest, you have,
yes,
I don't even know. I don't even know if the Tumblr still exists, but
it does.
but there's so many. Yeah.
Yes, I think social media is definitely going to take, well, it has already taken over our lives, because now, as you said, you're not even booking a hotel anymore unless you take a look at social media. So you're not doing anything anymore without social media. If you're looking for a recipe, Pinterest is definitely a place where you're going to go. Instagram for hotels, for inspiration. Facebook for just keeping up with your friends, or Facebook groups. Facebook groups are super useful, because there's a lot for every industry, for everybody, basically, for even for RV lovers. And yes, TikTok is quite popular at the moment. I agree, everywhere. Not only in China, it's everywhere. Even in Serbia, you wouldn't believe it. And it's just a small country, 7 million people, and it's unbelievably popular.
We're gonna follow Ivan on TikTok. So it seems like TikTok is very popular with Ivan Chen.
It seems like it. Yes. So Clubhouse is, yes, it's an invitation only. It's kind of like a podcast. And I know that there was even Elon Musk sometimes listening.
We're teasing you, Ivan.
I was also kidding. Anyway, Clubhouse is very interesting, but I read so many mixed reviews. I haven't had the chance to try it out myself. I did have some invitations, but I didn't have the time to get into that yet. But some of what I read about Clubhouse was really mixed. Some people were loving it because there are some really good podcasts that they were listening to, but some were mostly sales related. Basically, sales people were a part of Clubhouse, and they were telling about their fantastic lives, their Ferraris and everything that they don't even own, but they are just you know,
Interesting.
using it to just get this kind of credibility. So I'm not going to comment a lot on Clubhouse, but I can say that in the future, social media is definitely going to just be even more elevated, even more present in our lives than ever, because there's so many things that we don't even notice that we're using social media for. And it's phenomenal. Even when you're not on any of the social networks, you're using maybe an application like WhatsApp, like Viber, like a
Right.
Telegram. There's so many apps that you're using. You're definitely going to be either Skype or Zoom. Everything is now going to be online. So for the future, I think it's just going to be more elevated, more I would say a lot of people are going to use it maybe even for augmented reality. So for example, you're at a museum, you can see who painted a picture, and then you're going to just basically scan the picture with your phone, and then you will know everything. You can read everything from there.
Right.
That's probably actually in Boston. I was at this museum of science, and I went to this augmented reality art show, and it was just like that. Basically, I read everything from my phone, so it already
Nice.
exists.
Yeah,
We're
no,
just
it's so amazing, right? And it's amazing how everybody is so connected. 2 weeks ago, I don't know if I shared this with you, Nina. So my two daughters have an account called Classically Contempo, and they do covers, musical covers. And then what happened was Hamilton the musical caught one of their videos, and Hamilton musical posted their video on all their social media, and in the span of literally an hour, I mean, there were like 100,000 views on Instagram, and then I
wow.
think Facebook had another 50,000. I mean, it's just amazing how it goes so fast. I mean, I think so far, and it's only been a week and a half. I think on Instagram, on the Hamilton Instagram, they had 260,000 views.
That's
Um, and
unbelievable.
they and in on their Instagram and on their own account, they got an increase of 1,500. I mean, they already have a lot of people, I think. I mean, not a lot as in millions, but they had at one point 30,000 followers, but now they're down to 15. But it's amazing how everything is connected, how everything is so everybody's so connected with some type of social media.
That's exactly true, because it's phenomenal. I'm always looking at the algorithm because it's always changing. As soon as I see a decrease in reach, I know that there's something wrong with the algorithm, mostly. And
Right.
then I check, and then I see. So there's so many things that depend on the algorithm and how you react to some posts. So for example, you see a content, you
Hmm.
spend 2 seconds on it. Facebook will detect it as something that you're interested in, and it will show you videos or images similar to that one in your suggested posts, for example.
Right.
That's Facebook. But also Instagram does that too. When you go on the explore page, when you go on Reels, it will always show things that you were interested in. Maybe you weren't even liking anything, you weren't even acting on it, but you were spending time on that, watching that content. So it's just amazing how it increases, how it explodes everywhere. It's with location, geolocations, hashtags, reshares. If a popular page reshares your post, you're
Mhm.
going to become a superstar like your daughters now, or like Christine Sanger.
Hey, let's talk about that. Sort of the privacy issues, right? Because sometimes it amazes me. Like sometimes I'm talking to my friends about, oh, have you seen the new Nissan Z, for example? And next thing you know, it shows up on my Facebook as a advertisement.
Oh,
And
for
of course,
sure.
the word out there is like, oh, they're listening to us, right? The big brother's watching. Is Do you know? I mean, what's the other? There was another documentary on Netflix about social,
Yes,
I
social
forget,
network.
social
The
network, right?
social
That
network.
kind of, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what are your opinions on that?
My opinion is it's true because I was in Switzerland and we were looking for a hotel and we mentioned a location, and then basically 5 minutes later I went on Facebook and I saw a hotel on that location. So there
Yeah.
is some social listening, and it makes sense because we do have Siri, we do have Alexa, we can communicate with them, we can ask them to do something for us, or to even to make a call, to send a message. We're using voice, basically voice commands for those activities. So
Right.
it does make sense that they are listening, but it's unbelievable because you would think you have privacy, right? That's
Right.
nobody's listening to you. But it's true. This wasn't the first time that it happened to me. So I
It
think
can't be just a coincidence, right?
it's unbelievable because I haven't Googled it before. It makes sense when I Google it, and then
Right.
it appears. It makes
It stays on the cookies, right? You know, it's like Black Mirror TV show. I don't know if you've seen that.
yeah,
That's
I saw that. Yes, exactly.
it's very creepy. Yeah.
It's creepy.
Uh,
It's really creepy.
does anyone else have questions for Nina? So just to let you all know, Nina was very kind enough to join us. It's already 11 p.m. where she is in Switzerland. But thank you again, Nina. But any other individuals have questions for Nina while we have her? We have another 5 minutes left.
I had a question for Nina. I'm looking to move into the event industry within the tech world. And I know that you have event experience. You were an event planner for a yacht club, I believe. And I'm curious to know, I'm somewhat skilled with social media and I have done some marketing for a tech company before, but what skills or what things do you think are most important to learn while still in school, that you think would be valuable for like the tech industry?
Event marketing in the tech industry, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the companies that I mentioned, a mid-sized company, I was working there. It was a tech company, and I was a marketing coordinator there. And we had a lot of events, basically. So I was more an event coordinator than a marketing coordinator, if you know what I mean. So we have a lot of events which are industry related, sales related, to the sales teams related, to the different products that they had and services that they had, and we were organizing and we were out there all the time. So any event that was happening, any fair, any conference, we were out there all the time. So organizing that from start to bottom for email marketing, email automation, planning everything from venue, food, drinks, how everything is going to be placed, then the presentations, then the speakers, the sales team who's going to be sent out to communicate with the guests, with the potential customers. It's very interesting. It's very stressful because you are basically managing everything at the same time. So this was a tech company in the printing industry. And so we had huge machines, huge printing machines, huge scanning machines that we had to logistically coordinate from Germany to Hungary because they were located in Germany. So it was a lot of those kind of logistic issues, I can call them like that. Then inviting everyone, finding leads, finding the salespeople, finding a venue, communicating with them, coordinating with them, and then as the people register to an event, reporting, analyzing. So I think it's a really good job. It's really interesting career move. Think you will really enjoy it, and there's a lot to learn, but I think focus mostly on email marketing and all these automation tools because you're going to use them the most. We were doing a lot of website design as well, and pulling a lot of reports from the website from the registration platforms. and also a lot of graphic design for the events, because we had graphic designers, but we also had to do a lot of the stuff ourselves when they weren't present. So basically, if you're working for a company, you have to have all the brand visuals, all the details, the colors, the fonts, everything, to use them in your in everything that you're doing, and also to keep in mind if it's printable, if it's going to be enlarged, if it's going to be a huge canvas, or so to pay attention basically on all these details. But it's definitely a good career move. It's interesting. And now with this pandemic, it's going to be what I saw that this company that I was working for now is doing. Now they have their masks, and they have to pay attention to all these aspects as well of the events. So they have to have a very very focused, very clean, sanitized event, to keep in mind everything that people touch or see or do, just to have a safe event. So definitely also keep up with the trends and all the changes and everything that's related, or if you know any tips and tricks on health, use them as well for these event organizations. Sorry, James.
No. I was just going to say to Norma that it's also beneficial, and I don't know what if you're a senior or if you're a sophomore or junior, but I think it would be great if you're are you a sophomore? Where are you at in your college major?
I plan to graduate this next spring, so I should be graduated by the next spring. Yeah.
Excellent. So I think, and do you have experience in any like internships or like in hotels or?
Yes, I have about 4 years of experience in hotels. Primarily, though, I've worked in restaurants and done more of like event planning in restaurants. And I did a little bit over a year in marketing for a tech company here in San Diego. So I'm kind of like, I've done a little bit of everything, but my main thing is I would like to do event planning for a tech, like a pretty well-established tech company. That's my goal.
Okay.
But I know that there's a lot more that I need to know in regards to marketing. And a lot of the jobs that I've seen that are event-based in a tech company, almost every single one, you need to have like a good amount of marketing experience, at least like a year. But you need to have like the graphic design is something I saw, which honestly, like I had no idea that was like a thing for event planners.
Right. No, I was just going to say that, there are a lot of like Salesforce. They're based in San Francisco. I mean, and
I was about to say that.
It's a great company. In fact, one of my friends or my former sales manager just got hired by Salesforce, and they're a huge company, and they will continue meeting and creating some of these conventions, right? They have Dreamforce as one of the biggest conventions in San Francisco. The other option for you is to get more experience is maybe working for like the convention center itself, right? And but in terms of marketing, I think what you're doing is perfect. Just finding those tech companies that would allow you to get that experience. Yeah. Yes. Any other students has a question for Nina? You can type it on the chat. If not, we want to thank you, Nina, for your time. We really appreciate this wonderful and very engaging and dynamic presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
and as she suggested, follow those RV resorts that on Instagrams, just so that how she communicates, what the messages are, the branding. I mean, Nina does a fantastic job for Sunland RV Resorts, and really thank you for your time, Nina. Appreciate. We learned a lot. I learned a lot. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm always here if you need another. We can do something more focused for another time if you're interested.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nina, and thank you, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Enjoy it. Thanks for joining.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.